Okay, here we go. And I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. One life in which I make a difference. One day where I can make myself. One to share with all the planet. One chance to follow my heart. What? Because I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. One heart to love without condition. One day where I can make myself. One soul connecting with all others. One song, one people, one voice. Because why? I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life. Every morning when I look out my window, the sun is shining over my day. Even though I may not see it, it's still shining on every way. It changed because I am awakening. I'm awakening. I am awakening to life. Yes, I am now. I am awakening. I am awakening. I am awakening to life.
Am I on? There we go. Thanks, Gary. That was an awesome rendition of that song. Yes, our huge audience today. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. I'm Joanne Jacobs with the Centers for Spiritual Living, and I am just here to guide you through our day today. Thanks for coming out. Hey, sorry, it's Sunday. So I was going to tell you a little bit about the core pillars of our philosophy. They're based on the creative process, unity of all life, and affirmative prayer. The creative process is a belief in that there's a power greater than us that we can tap into in the universe to build our lives and develop our lives and just live the fullness of who we are. Unity of all life, it means everything is an expression of one spirit. It's impersonal. It's based on law. So if you align with these principles, you can develop the life that you are wanting to build and create. And affirmative prayer, it is based on recognizing the perfection of the universe and actively affirming the desired outcome as already complete and just stepping into that vision of the world. We do that with a practical approach, like with healing and wholeness. Holmes taught that mind and body are deeply connected, and that by clearing emotionally charged thoughts, we heal physically and emotionally. With a synthesis of beliefs, Holmes studied many different philosophies, and he distilled what he felt were the greatest teachings from all of the philosophies and pulled them together in one place. A lot of this is based in Christian mysticism, Eastern philosophies, and metaphysical science. And this philosophy is also based in self-reliance and responsibility. Your circumstances are not dictated by luck or fate. You're completely responsible for your thoughts and beliefs, and with that responsibility, you are able to change your thoughts and beliefs and change the life that shows out. So we do have a lot of great classes that we offer over the course of the year to help you go into this a little deeper. I personally have used these classes to release a lot of the struggle and things in my life I needed to overcome and face and deal with. And I have also used this philosophy to step into the creative side of life, where I'm in joy and love and peace and out building, and everything that pops up is an opportunity for me to learn and grow. And obstacles are actually welcome because I learn and grow and develop. So a beginning class that we're going to have today, Reverend Nicole is also going to be teaching after this message, the Sanctuary in the Storm, Living from the Presence Within class. That should be a great class to get you going in a new direction. And I just want to take a moment to thank Gary and Brian and everyone that's come in here today, Reverend Nicole, for bringing this all together so that we could have this safe place to explore further who we are and what we want to create. Also, I'm going to go through the vision and mission statement. So our mission statement is to create an expansive community of love and healing and connection through compassionate spirituality to better ourselves and serve the world. And our vision is to awaken and empower the sacred self within, all to uplift humanity. And all of these just play together to unfold in your life as a positive and joyful experience and just learning who to be who you are every day. So I am going to introduce you to Gail right now. She's going to come up here and share an experience she's had over the years of learning how to become who she is fully today. So come on up, Gail, and thank you for taking the time to do this with us today.
Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Anyway, I was asked to give the spiritual talk or inspirational share this morning. I was born and raised here in the prominent religion. I practiced it. I believed it. I raised my boys in it. But by the time I was slow, but by the time I was in my 30s, I recognized I was not comfortable with the concept of many religions that, for instance, every head shall bow, every knee shall bend to acknowledge he is the Christ, or whatever the specific religion had. It just, because there's so many people in this world that had never even heard of, it's just that Western civilization, Christ is the dominant religion. I just began to feel like that just didn't fit. Well, in my 40s is when we moved to Saudi Arabia, and my eyes opened up. I found many times that I was feeling the control, the oppression those people lived in automatically from their government, because they're told what the government wants them to hear, see. They have gymnasiums full of the self-righteous men and their black markers going through even National Geographic, blacking out anything they deemed was not appropriate for the people to have, see, or learn in the community. And actually, much of that was going on when I was growing up, because when you started to research, you couldn't even find the books. You couldn't verify the changes that had been made over time. And I just felt like globally there's a whole, there's a much bigger answer for the universe instead of any one religion. So I slowly, as I said, I'm slow, but I found my way towards spirituality, mainly just through studying on my own what rang true, what felt right for me. And thanks to my good friend Barbara here, eventually I found my way to the science of mind and Emerson, and as well as just the new science today that's actually able to prove how our bodies change with thought, how we can change our bodies cellularly with our thought. And here's a quote from Ernest Holmes that I felt was appropriate. It says, since no two persons are alike, there must be a unique place for you in the universe. And in the scheme of things, the divine pattern would be imperfect without you. So dare to be yourself, unquote. I would like to share a few things with you to consider this week as we go out into the real world. Regardless of our age, we all must remember that we are running out of time. I am not saying that to scare or sadden anyone, but for me, the plank is getting pretty short. It is simply a fact of our mortal beings. And because we literally never know how much more time we have, that makes it a very precious commodity. Whether it's 1 day, a year, 10 days, or 30, we don't know. And so we do know only that we have today. All the more reason that we be mindful of staying in the moment, living in the present. The older we get, the more we realize that time is more valuable than our house, our savings, any of our material possessions. We all want gold. We love gold. We'll treat our time exactly like that precious commodity. Let us be mindful this coming week of the blessings we have just to be able to wake up in the morning, be able to get up, be able to decide many of our choices that we want to be active, have for activities in the day, and how to make them really count. We need to stop living in regret. We've all heard that, but have we done it? I so admire the students of TOSA and TOSIV because they have acknowledged, lived with, and now constructively have learned to deal with many regrets. And how? Simply by being accountable, by apologizing, by living honest and productive lives today that help them and all the people that surround them in a positive way, instead of living in the past. Or instead of denials, that I don't care, or I'm not going to deal with, or apologizing, I'm tired of apologizing. They no longer live filled with the I should haves. The truth about regret is it is absolutely useless. All it does is steal the present moment and the future that we envision and should be working towards. So stop worrying about what other people think about you. Stop performing for the sake of appearance. Be yourself, but keep working at being your better self. Being myself, I have that right, but that doesn't mean I don't care, I don't feel what people think. I don't care I don't care what people think. I'm going to do what I want. I'm tired, and I'm going to go to Walmart in my pajamas and flip-flops. This really means we have the freedom and use the day to be our better self. We're all going to have reasons to justify a stinking rotten day that just won't turn right. But we get to choose misery or gratitude every single day, every moment. And how we do that is gratitude is a decision that we can make throughout our day, every day. Do not hold on to the past. People who have passed away, as well as those that we see come and go in our lives. It's easy for us to live in the past when we lose a loved one. And I know that pain very well. But we need to live a day that maybe they didn't get to have. We have our mission, our purpose for being here, and deserve to have our best day that we can pass forward to others. So we honor life to show our gratitude for another day, to be able to make a difference in our work, in the ebb and flow of life. That's our job and blessing and purpose to be here. Thank you.
Don't you love her philosophy? Just don't care what other people are doing. You love yourself and you live your life because it's only yours.
I love if you have a stinking rotten day, you can just be grateful for all that you have. So speaking of Ernest Holmes, did you know that this is the 100th year since the Science of Mind 1926 edition was written? So this philosophy has been around for 100 years. And in celebration of that, I have a variety of quotes from Ernest Holmes, and one of them is from the 1941 radio broadcast entitled Divine Center. He said, "Now the study of science of mind and spirit is for the purpose of coming to self-awareness. It is for the purpose of each individual realizing that there is a divine center in his own mind. There is a creative power at the very center of his own being." And I include her too, by the way. In Science of Mind, he writes, "We should daily feel a deeper union with life, a greater sense of that indwelling God, the God of the seen and the unseen within us." He also reminds us that all emerge from one whose being is ever present and whose life, robed in numberless forms, is manifest throughout all creation. Creation is the logical result of the outpush of life into self-expression. And this is my favorite. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. It is flowing through me, circulating in me, and I am one with its rhythm. So let us move into prayer. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That infinite life flows in and through and as all creation. It is the very essence of all things, seen and unseen, known and unknown, imagined and unimagined. And it is the very essence of each one of our lives. We are born of this one presence, that all that the divine is that we are. We are love, peace, joy. It is our true expression. And so today I claim for each one of us that we remove any layer that doesn't allow us to express ourselves fully and wholly and authentically. That we can move and live and have our being knowing that we are one with the divine, that we are one with all life, all creatures. And so I know that in this knowing, that something opens up for us that has never been open before. There is an avenue of expression, a flow of good into our life. And so I'm so very grateful for this time together, for our time together, and knowing that each one that is here receives exactly what they need to take out into the world and to change not only their heart, but have that ripple out into their world, uplifting and reminding people of the truth of who they are. And so for gratitude for all that transpires from us being here today, and knowing that this prayer is already into the law, done perfect, whole, and complete, I let it be, and so it is.
Wherever two or more of you are gathered in my name, there I am also. The mission of Christ started with him speaking to probably one person, and two people, and three people, then four. So though our numbers are small today, Spirit is with us. The divine travels with us because it lives within us. And we are an expression of that. So wherever you are, God is there also.
And I say the sunshine comes after the rain, and the joy seems to follow the pain. When we all begin to realize it will always be this way, then we'll find the hope to make it all, make it through another day. Then we will all be happy people, happier today. Ooh, there's always a time in the silence. All tears be not well. When peace and sorrow overwhelm us, you're feeling that there's nobody you can tell. You're feeling nobody you can tell. Because the sunshine comes after the rain, and the joy seems to follow the pain. When we all begin to realize it will always be this way, then we'll find the hope to make it on, make it to another day. Then we will all be happier people, happier today. Sometimes it feels like it never will be over. When you're standing in the middle of the storm, when fear and sorrow overwhelm you, you're feeling that there's nobody you can tell. You're feeling nobody you can tell. Because the sunshine comes after the rain, and the joy seems to follow the pain. When we all begin to realize it will always be this way, then we'll find the hope to make it on, make it through another day. Then we will all be happier people, happier today. Participation. Take all your anger, let it go, let it all fly away. Take all your pain, child, let it go, let it all fly away. Take all your misunderstanding, let it go, let it fly away. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it all fly away. Let it all go, let it go, let it fly away. Let it all go, whoa, 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 whoa. Let it all fly away. Let it all go, let it all fly away. Let it all go. Let it all fly away. Big Tent Revival.
All flew away. So I'm just up here to introduce Reverend Nicole. She's such a beautiful soul, and I've really enjoyed getting to know her the last couple weeks. She has been working since 2009 on developing her spirituality and all of her programs at our main Centers for Spiritual Living. She was the Director of Spiritual and Professional Development for over 10 years. And she has started a new business called Bright Soul Wellness, and she's got a lot of wisdom to feed into that. So let me welcome Reverend Nicole Merges.
We always learned in ministerial school that in order to get a client or to have a spiritual community, that the first thing to do is to go within. And like Gary said, Jesus started speaking to one person, two people. So what I know here is that even though we may be small in numbers, we're mighty in consciousness, and we are creating space for the growth of this community by being here, by showing up. And even though we are speaking to a full audience here, and I like to say those who've gone on and those who are here to come, because the energy is neither created nor destroyed, and we are building our consciousness here. So welcome everyone. And I had the opportunity to speak last week as well, and so this week I want to return to something from last week that really feels important to deepen. Last week we talked about storms. We talked about being aware of the storms. We talked about the living presence, being present in the middle of uncertainty and the middle of those storms. And we named something essential, that under the storm, there is still in us, still aware, still breathing, still presence. And I asked you a question. I asked a question, what is your soul want from being here? What does your soul want from being here? And not just you feel obligated or your friend invited you, but really, like, what is it that you're here for? Is it here for love or peace or connection? And I had you identify that and put it in your hand, and I said you can touch a part of your body and feel what your soul, your deep soul is longing for, and see if you can have your body take in that feeling. And then I invited you to go about your day and your life. And whenever you felt like you were in the middle of the storm, that you could touch that part of your body again and remind yourself and give yourself that which your soul longs for. But I want to bring something even more forward today, because while presence is always here, our ability to recognize it depends on something else. It depends on safety. So I'm going to talk a little bit about safety, not the kind of safety that means life is perfect or nothing ever shakes us, but the kind of safety that allows us to stay with ourselves in the midst of a storm. The kind of safety that says, I can feel this and still remain connected. Safety is the ground we stand on before we can actually notice presence. Many of us don't realize this, but our nervous system, and when I say nervous system, I'm not just talking about nerves, I'm talking about your body wisdom, everything, if you want a visual, from here down. So when we ever walk in a room, our nervous system is asking one question. Does anyone know what that question is? Am I safe? And do you know what happens when it says no? Shut down, right? We contract, we brace, we disconnect, we feel like we want to run the heck out of here. Yeah. We have a reaction, and that's totally natural. That's totally natural. But in those moments, presence doesn't disappear, but our access to presence narrows. Not because it's gone, not because we moved into protection. Presence is always here, but safety determines whether we can rest in that presence or not. And awareness is not just spiritual, it's actually biological. Think about it. If presence is all there is, then it doesn't stop with my physical body. It is one with my physical body. So we talked about awareness being the first step to healing. But awareness is not just a spiritual principle. It's actually our capacity. Now let me explain that a little bit more. Because when awareness arrives to us without judgment, something very real happens in the body. Our system begins to soften. Space opens up in us. We can feel ourselves breathe. And in that space, we're no longer identified with the storm. We're resting in the presence. And here's what's important. Our body can only stay in that awareness for as long as it feels safe. Otherwise, awareness becomes too much. And look, a squirrel, right? That is what I'm talking about when I talk about safety. And when we don't have it, we get pulled back into contraction. We float away into dissociation. We do all of these things that keep us from being totally present in the moment. And this is what I mean to build capacity. Because capacity is actually built through safety. So the more safety we can feel, the larger capacity we can have to stand in presence in the midst of a storm. So the living presence isn't separate from safety. It actually expresses as it, right? I used to think of presence as something I needed to reach, some insight I needed to have, something I needed to meditate to be able to access, but something softened in me. Because what I began to notice is that when I even felt a small sense of safety in my body, I didn't have to go anywhere to find presence. I could breathe again, right? Space opened again. I recognized that presence is already here. It is my breath. It is my blood flowing through my veins, and hopefully my brain too. And it is the sensation of my feet on the ground. I feel here and present. I'm alive and aware. And then I started to realize something even deeper, that the living presence actually doesn't arrive after I feel safety. It actually expresses itself as safety, not as control, not as instability, but as a certainty, assuredness. We can feel ourselves connected to something greater when we feel safe. But there sometimes we lose connection with ourselves. Anyone ever experienced losing connection with yourself? Really? You should all be raising your hand here. I might even feel that during this talk, if I was honest here. So last week we talked about how we can move away from ourselves, and even a little bit earlier, when we feel overwhelmed, we distract, we overfunction, we numb, we get consumed by thought, we have emotional breakdowns, and none of that is wrong. That's just an intelligent system protecting yourself. At some point, your body didn't feel safe enough to stay present with the experience, so it adapted. And all of those adaptations work, but they're not sustainable. They're not sustainable. They sometimes cut us off from who we are or who we want to be. So I want to invite us into something new, not just survival, but this concept of capacity. To have the capacity to feel without collapsing, the capacity to notice without getting lost, the capacity to stay with ourselves just a little bit longer than we did before. And in that capacity, that's not built through effort. It's built through safety, it's built through practice, and it's built through being gentle with ourselves, because there's no way we're going to feel 100% safe in this world all the time. So we must be gentle with ourselves so that we can return back to safety over and over again. And when we return back to safety, we feel the living presence. Now, I want to be clear, safety is not the absence of discomfort. And this is important, because when we hear the word safety, we often think it means what? Calm, peace, right? Do you associate that with safety? Or everything feeling okay? But safety is actually something different. It's inner safety is the ability to stay connected with ourselves even when the uncomfortable is present. And I talked a little bit about that, how we can be in the storm and hold the high consciousness at the same time. So it sounds like something like this: I am here, or this is here, and I am still here. This is moving through me, and I'm not abandoning myself. Or this is intense, and I can stay present for one more breath. That's safety. It's not an escape from experience, but it's our relationship with experience. So how do we build capacity? How do we do this? Well, we don't do it this way. We don't do it as a concept. We don't do it as an idea. I mean, it could start there, but that's maybe one building block of it. But we build it in real time, in lived experience. And we begin very simply, just by noticing our breath, noticing what's here, noticing what's happening in our body and our mind, noticing the sensations, and not having judgment about that, just noticing. And noticing is what? It's becoming aware, being aware. And we don't have to try to solve or fix anything immediately. But when we begin noticing and begin to be able to stay with ourselves, that's how we build capacity. We create a widening and a softening within ourselves. We create a tolerance and a capacity to stay just a little bit longer than we can before. There's a saying that just came to me, don't leave before the miracle happens. And that's kind of what I'm saying here, right? Don't leave before the miracle happens. Stay that extra moment. So we begin to realize that the living presence is not separate from this process. It is here the entire time. It is actually what makes this process possible, because presence is not just an awareness in life, but it is life aware of itself through you. Presence is life aware of itself through you. And that's when awareness is met with safety, the system stops bracing against itself and it starts resting inside itself. I just had this image when I did this. It's like experience is happening, and here we are in the awareness of presence in the middle of it. And we can now, knowing this, build different relationships with the kind of storms we're going through, whether they're major storms or just minor, I'm having a stinking rotten bad day kind of storm. And we talked about all these storms last week, emotional storms, mental storms, even invisible storms. And when that safety begins to grow inside of us, something changes how we relate to those storms. We no longer think like, this is happening to me, right? We begin to say, oh, this is going on in my life, and I'm still here. So we begin to detach ourselves a bit from these storms. And I spoke last week that the goal is not to stop the storms. There's no way we can stop the storms. They come and go in all different sizes and varieties all the time. And we often want to fix them or move through them, but the goal is to actually stay connected to yourself while the storm is happening. That's the goal. Because when safety is present, storms stop being something we fear and something we get lost in. Just like Joanne said today in her intro, I welcome the obstacles. I welcome the obstacles. Because there's something we can be with, something we can move through without abandoning ourselves. And this is where the subtle shift begins to emerge. We stop fighting our experience, we stop disappearing into it, and we begin inhabiting ourselves differently. I was practicing my talk this morning, and some of you may know I've been dealing with this mystery right-sided pain. So I was talking this morning, and the pain came back, and it comes and goes, and I it's nothing. I've got it checked out, so it's nothing crazy, but it is annoying. So I was speaking this morning, and I was like, what the heck are you doing? And then I was like, oh, listen to my words. So something shifted as I was talking, and I began to speak as I was in the storm of feeling physically unwell this morning, and something shifted. I could feel the power, I could still feel the pain, but you know what? I don't have the pain anymore, and I don't know why it's gone. I don't know why, but I like to think that I stayed in that storm. I didn't get distracted about it, and I spoke, I related to it differently. It's something that was with me, but it didn't have to consume me. Because presence is not, this is, as we return to safety over and over again, presence keeps returning in our life. And if presence is always here, it's safety that what allows us to recognize it. And the practice then isn't to strive for more presence, It's how can I gently return myself back to safety? That's the practice. Because presence is always with us. In the small ways, in the ordinary moments, in the breath, in a pause, in our chest. And so we don't want to change what's happening. We want to stay connected to presence while it's happening. Because again, you're not just returning to safety, you're actually building capacity within yourself so that you can move through life and through these storms, connected and reminded of the living presence, God, the divine, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You remind yourself that not only is presence here, but you are presence expressing. So before we close today, I want to share something that feels like a natural expansion of this, because we've been talking about awareness, we've been talking about storms and presence and safety. And I said earlier that, we can't just create safety by a thought alone. It has to become a felt experience. And there's one thing about knowing about inner safety is knowing how to return to it when you're overwhelmed. Because understanding presence is one thing, but learning how to recognize it in life during a difficult moment is another. Building capacity isn't something that happens because we understand a concept. It happens through practice, through experience, through learning how to gently return to ourselves again and again. And so that's why I created this workshop, Sanctuary in the Storm, living from the presence within, so that we could have an experience of this talk. So I invite you to stay for that. And if you can't stay for that, I also have a meditation that is called Inner Sanctuary that could give you that experience, and you could download it with a QR code or put your name and email, and I'll send it to you later tonight. Because again, safety doesn't come from just thinking about it, affirming it, or praying for it. It becomes about creating the experience of it. That's where the power lies, in our creation and our felt experience of the living presence that is already expressing as you. Thank you.
That was a beautiful talk. Thank you so much. That was so grounding. In keeping with the theme of Lana, I'm going to tell you a joke that relates to the talk we just had. So this very spiritually grounded woman was leaving the grocery store. She's being present. She gets out to her vehicle, and she's locked her keys in the car. And she just stops in the middle of the storm, and she says, "Dear God, please help me to get my keys out of the car. I don't know what to do, but I trust you will find a way." And within a few minutes, this rough-looking character comes up, and she says, "Oh, sir, could you please help me? My keys are locked in the car." And he says, "Sure, I can get him out for you." And he picked her lock and gave her keys. And she goes, "Thank you, God, for sending this wonderful human being to help me out, this wonderful young man. I'm so grateful for his help." And the gentleman looked at her and said, "I am not a good young man. I lie, I cheat, I steal. I just come out of 4 years of prison for auto theft." And she looked up to the sky and she said, "Thank you, God, you even sent me a professional." So anyway, I thought that was a great joke. So we have these QR codes you could use if you're interested in empowering the center financially. We've got the Venmo, and there's also a donation box back on the table. We appreciate anything you have to donate, time, money, soul. So thank you all for coming out, and I will leave it to Gary to get us out of here on a high note.
High note, high note. But let love be with you.
Let love be with you. Let peace enfold you. Truth come through you. Breathe it in. Let truth come through you. Make good flow to you. Let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Come to you. Truth into you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. Make good flow to you. Let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light. Take a stand in. We are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Kick up, set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make love flow to you, the joy renews you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. God to hold you, and you redeem and breathe it in. Truth come to you, make good flow to you. God renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Love be with you.